There's an app for this. There's an app for that. There seems to be an app for everything. The question is, which ones are the best? Well, Justin and I are going to show you the ones that we like. Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of the Church Media Guys Show. My name's Dave, and if we've not met, I'm the guy that started churchtrainingacademy.com, which is a place where you and I and other ministry-minded folks can go to learn how to use and exploit media and technology so that we can take the gospel to the world. We can share it inside our church, we can share it outside our church. With me, as always, is my partner in crime, Justin Nava. Good morning, Mr. Nava. Are you with us, sir?
Yes, I am with you, Dave. I am with you always. I live to serve my master. I am not a robot. I am a human.
I am not a robot. I think for myself.
Why is your face leaking? No, I'm kidding. He's not crying. What's going on, everyone?
I was just on my learning how to love. Sorry.
He keeps going on until you pull his batteries out.
Yes, exactly.
If you understood that reference, you're our new best friend.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just looking at my phone and Dave said something and I was like, uh-oh. And I realized I said something robotic and I just kind of went with it. What's going on, Dave? What's going on, Facebook watchers, podcast listeners, YouTube viewers, and radio listeners, especially to you? Hello. And how did this get broadcasted on the radio? I don't know, but I'm excited to be here.
And now for our feature presentation.
Today, our feature presentation is really laid back, and I like that it's really laid back. Justin and I were talking and say, we could do something like hyper topical, or we could basically just sort of open up our trunks and let people look inside and see the kind of stuff we use. And I like doing that. I like to look inside, people's houses, Justin, like when I'm driving down the street late at night and someone's got their window open and there's a game on, it's like, oh, I wonder what game they're watching. Or look, they're watching a movie. What are they? Oh, look, they're watching the new Jack Ryan show on Amazon. Or, I kind of, that little voyeur that sits inside of me likes to see what's going on in other people's lives. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that, Justin?
Yeah. You want to see what other people are doing.
Okay. I'm not the only weirdo. That's the good thing.
Yeah, it's like it's reality TV, Dave.
Yeah, it is.
We are just interested in people that have lives that we want, things that look good, things that pique our curiosity, or unfortunately, people that we just disagree with so much we want to look for more reasons to hate them.
Yes, exactly. All right, so Justin, I'm going to let you kick it off first. Yours, I don't know. I'm going to be the old guy and say, I don't understand this whole big mess. So I'll let you take the first one here with your Reddit, whatever, I don't know, anonymous 4chan thing, whatever you do.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. So my number one most used app, and this is my social media, and that's Reddit. Now, if you don't know what Reddit is, the tagline is the front page of the internet, because people submit posts to Reddit. They submit articles, videos, things that they find across the web. Not many people are creating content for Reddit like we might think of social media. We're just sharing links. We're sharing content. And when it lands on Reddit, other people that use Reddit, called Redditors, vote on whether or not the content is funny, entertaining, educational, whether it applies to life, right? And so they upvote it. And the more upvotes a piece of content gets, the higher it goes on Reddit. So it's kind of like your Facebook feed, where, you have something that's very popular on Facebook. It tends to be shown to you first on Facebook, like marriage announcements, birth announcements. Unfortunately, like I have cancer posts, those kind of things, they show up first on your Facebook feed because Facebook sees a lot of engagement around it. So it puts it on your feed first, and you scroll down and you see things that have less engagement. Reddit kind of started that, and it's not algorithmically based. It really is simply people see a link, they see content, and they upvote it that it's relevant, entertaining, fun, or they downvote it that it's not relevant, or maybe it's false. I don't know. You're not supposed to vote on falseness. But then Reddit is also subdivided into different subreddits. Now, these are subreddits. These are like channels that are focused around a particular topic. You'll kind of see some of the subreddits that I follow. So there might be a technology subreddit. There are subreddits for TV shows, like a show that I'm watching. I just finished on Netflix called Maniac. There's a subreddit for that, where people can discuss plot details, character discoveries, their favorite quotes. Then there's also news subreddits. There's left subreddits. There's right subreddits. There's a Trump subreddit. There's a Hillary subreddit. There are subreddits for marketing. There's subreddits for churches. Not churches specific, but church topics. There's one that I'm really enjoy called the Academic Bible subreddit, which is people basically nerding out and doing like sharing their seminary theses on subreddit. So thesi. So it's a lot of fun. You can really curate it to be what you want. So I'm going to come into my phone here, and you're going to see my Reddit. Now, you typically don't want to share your phone on live recording and podcasting, but me and Dave said we're going to be super transparent here. So you should see my phone right now. And the way that I check Reddit is with the Apollo app. I don't know if you can see me moving it around, but right here is the Apollo app. That's basically just a window. It's the app. It's like Outlook that looks into Reddit. And it's going to open up my Reddit here. And you can see it's just some of the things that pop up on my Reddit feed. Okay. So you'll see some of the subreddits that I'm applied to. And a lot of them don't have to do with media or marketing. This is half educational, half entertainment for me. So, for example, I'm subscribed to the T-Mobile Reddit.
Is that an ad up there?
No. This is someone posted this.
Oh, gotcha.
So they're saying here, hey, American Express users, check your offers page. You might get 10% off your cell phone bill. That's helpful, right? If I was an American Express user, I can now get 10% back off because I'm subscribed to the T-Mobile subreddit. You can see down here at the bottom, the very bottom, you can see how many people upvoted it. 22 people upvoted it. 19 people commented on it. It was posted 3 hours ago to the T-Mobile subreddit. You can see here, of course, I'm subscribed to the Defenders subreddit. That's the Netflix TV series, and it's just a meme. There's Ask Reddit, which is one of my favorites. This guy asks, what human invention truly blows your mind when you think about it that we as humans take for granted? Interesting posts like that. You sometimes find religious discussions that can be fruitful, can be harmful. It's just, depending on who's online right now. And then, we have the best of, where people find the best of Reddit and put it here. Here's some movie news. Here's some technology news. So a lot of my news comes from Reddit. Would I personally enjoy? Some people may not enjoy this. I subscribe to both right-leaning subreddits and left-leaning subreddits. So I get a little bit of both, much to Dave's frustration, because I always, seem to go with some people on the left and some people on the right. Science subreddit, the Orville, that's a TV show I follow. So a lot of my news and information and entertainment comes from here, comes from curation. Here's a design subreddit, Design Freebie, where people find free stuff online, free mock-ups for this example. And so lots of good stuff here. And here is a Reddit that I love called Better Every Loop. Here's a GIF of our president boarding Air Force One with toilet paper stuck on his shoe. You just don't find that anywhere else here. It's a curation of different feeds. And what I really enjoy about it is, unfortunately, it gave me a lot of entertainment stuff and useless stuff here. But I'll log on and I'll usually see news stories first. I'll see some laughing stuff, some memes, some thoughtful stuff, some Ask Reddit stuff, maybe some TV show stuff. And I'll follow it up with some more, people discussing things. I'll just point out some of the subreddits that I follow here, and then we'll get going. Academic Bible, that's the subreddit where people discuss things. So the top post in there is, what are doctrinal differences between disputed Pauline epistles and the undisputed Pauline epistles? Are you still awake here?
Who's Pauline?
No, Pauline epistles. I have a couple of GIF Reddits. If you know anything about me, I love GIFs. I'm subscribed to a concealed carry subreddit where they share new products. People share law changes, helpful tips when you have to conceal carry. I'm subscribed to an entrepreneur subreddit with lots of motivation and stories shared there. Just a lot of different Reddits. Let me find one more interesting one. I'm subscribed to a nerd fitness subreddit where people will post things that are like health conscious fitness routines, but maybe with a nerd twist. Like, hey, if Captain America had to work out, this might be the workout he has to do. There's a subreddit for that. There's a Facebook group for that probably. But that's my number one used app. That's my social media. I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook. I don't spend a lot of time on Instagram or social media. I spend a little bit of time on Twitter. But Reddit is where it's at because it's so curated to my tastes. And there's a subreddit for just about anything. And so whether you look for like I said, a left Reddit, a right Reddit, a movie Reddit. I got my mom on Reddit. I got my pastor on Reddit, and they just love seeing everyone curating things from around the web. I mean, it's crowdsourcing information from around the web. And, I hate to say it, a lot of times there's some junk on Facebook, and I'm like, that can't be right. And I go onto Reddit and I find the truth because people are freely able to discuss for better or for worse, and things come out that maybe wouldn't come out in a Facebook echo chamber or an Instagram page. So I really enjoy Reddit. It's the internet for me. I went on way too much about this. I won't go on too much about the other ones, but that is where I spend a majority of my time. That is where I get a lot of my news, a lot of my entertainment, a lot of my did you knows. That's my number one.
Very cool. Very cool. I like that. I've never been a big Redditor. I've used it a little bit here and there, but it's just I guess maybe we need to do a like from the Reddit page or something, do like a little walkthrough or something about how to make the most out of Reddit, or how to get the most out of Reddit for someone who's completely uninitiated.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we could like we did that for my pastor, and he's like, I don't get it. Like, because when you first sign on, you get a bunch of default subreddits,
sure,
which is like pics and cute puppies and technology news.
Right.
And we showed him like, no, here's where you get information on, here's the Trump Reddit, right? If you really want to support what he's doing and find out what he's doing. Here is the, like I showed my mom, that book you read, I don't remember what the book, James Cameron. There's this James Cameron subreddit where they talk about James Cameron's books and break down his books and what he's coming out with next. And there's a Game of Thrones Reddit, and so a subreddit. And so you really tailor it to you. And I got a couple of coworkers plugged in on it. It's a lot of fun.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Mine is extremely practical. I'm gonna share it over here. Let me bring up right there, and you guys.
Are you saying mine wasn't practical?
No. Yours is practical. Yours is practical. You're pretty, Justin. Okay. Mine is extremely practical. It's called Mile IQ. Now, I don't know all the rules and stuff for people at churches and what mileage you can. You can write off and stuff like that. Whoops, I cut to a shot of Justin promoting our sponsor. That was awesome. I thought
it was safe.
Yeah, I don't know. Frankly, I don't care what the rules are with your mileage tracking and all that sort of stuff. But somewhere in your life, if you need to track mileage, which I do because I'm a business owner, and so when I'm driving to see my client at the church, I have to track that mileage. When I'm driving to the television studio, got to track that mileage and stuff. When I'm going to someone else's house, I track that mileage, and I can write off several thousand miles a year, which is, pretty big. So I'm using Mile IQ, and Mile IQ is a freemium piece of software. It lets you do like 40 drives a month for free, and if you're going to use it and have it classify and track your mileage and stuff, then you want to have the paid for version. It's really cool. One of the things that I like is that it can auto classify once you start doing things on a regular basis. I'm just going to go real fast to like some September drives that have not been auto classified. I just want to give you a quick idea. All right. So this one right here, you see I've got 11.2 miles. The potential savings or that I could write off is $6.10. This is from one location to my daughter's school. So since this is personal for her, well, I can could bring up the map if I wanted to actually walk through it. But if I want to like classify it, you'll notice it says up at the top there that you can swipe to the left for personal, swipe to the right for business. So since this is personal, I'm going to swipe it, and then I'm going to add a purpose, which is Jane to school. And then it's going to start grabbing all the other ones that are fitting that criteria. So this one from her place back over here, that's the same thing. So I'm just going to add a purpose, Jane to school. And then we've got someplace over on Hewlin over here to my house. So that's just personal. Don't have to worry about it. You get the idea. So like in August, it has automatically logged $207 worth of drives. And there's another potential for other for other ones that it hasn't done. So 38 miles. This was when I went to Video Marketing World. So I'm going to make that one business. I'm going to go back. Make that one business. This is commuting to that. So that one's going to be business. This one is commuting to that. It's going to be business. This is just running around in Grapevine. So that's not. This is going back. That's business. So see, it's really easy. You can just log all of your miles driven and stuff. Now, what's really cool is that you can get all these reports. So you can get, say the October report, the September report, August 2018 to date, the last year's stuff. And when these reports come, they've got all the information in there. They've got everything put in there. They've got, whatever the current tax year's mileage rates are that you can write off and stuff like that. All that stuff's automatically done. So basically, you're going to end up with a spreadsheet that you just file away. And if you ever have to, you can gather that information, plug it into your taxes. But then if you ever get an audit or something like that or need to show that, you basically are just going to print out this, stacks of spreadsheets and hand it to the guy and let him look at it. And if it's like any other auditor, they're going to look at your records and go, okay, you keep records, we trust you. Or they're going to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and you're going to walk funny for a while. Either way, you can prove your stuff by using MileIQ. And what's cool about it, Justin, is that it will automatically do stuff. So, every day at a certain time, within a certain window, I drive from my house over to the television studio. So it's, and then I drive back. So, it automatically knows that, hey, when he makes this drive, this is a client visit. So it logs it and moves on, But if there's something out of the ordinary, like if I go from the studio to Chick-fil-A, half a mile away, then it's like, okay, you went from this location to this location. What is that? Oh, that's just me grabbing lunch. So you minimize it. You not minimize it. You mark it as personal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes total sense. I like it. In my experience, a lot of passengers do have to track their mileage, especially because if you're, I don't know the whole rule set, but a lot of them are considered self-employed for tax reasons. So they have to track that stuff. So very useful tip.
Yeah.
Mine is a podcast app. Now this is more for everyone. So I know the first one kind of, if you're a nerd like me, the second one, if you're traveling like Dave, this one's for everyone. And I think Dave has a similar one to share.
Yep.
And this is my favorite podcast app. Now, podcast apps are like health diet advice. Everyone has a different one that they enjoy. So I'm not stepping on yours, okay? But mine is an app called Overcast. And so let me throw that on my phone here. And basically Overcast, it's my journey to Overcast began because I wanted to play things in 1.5 speed or 1.25 speed. So you can see here on the left side of my screen, I have Overcast ready and available to go. And you can see my podcast here. Now at the top, you can create playlists, but I just do it by podcast. You can see all the podcasts that I have that are awaiting listens. And then these are all the ones that I've played. So you get a little look into what podcasts I'm listening to. Not too exciting there. But what I do enjoy is if I do go into a podcast, let's say I want to play Digital Marketer here, I can actually go in and I can tell it I want to listen to it at 1.5 speed. I want to listen at 2 times speed because I have a lot to get through. It has a smart speed option, which if it detects that, there's a pause, maybe someone talks slower and someone talks faster, it'll automatically detect, the slower talker and it'll shorten their silences. It'll make them talk a little bit faster. And then there's also a voice boost, which basically is like an EQ setting, I think, and it works really well. There is a paid version, so you see there's some ads at the bottom, but they're so not in the way. Doesn't really faze me at all. And, there's plenty of settings that you can adjust. So I have it saved to just stream because I don't want it to take up any storage on my phone. So everything streams. But I am going on a trip. So if I do want to download an episode, you can see at the top, I can play it, I can favorite it, I can share it, I can download it, or I can delete it from my queue. And so this is what I really enjoy about it. The main thing I use it for is to be able to listen to podcasts at 1.5 speed. The other thing I enjoy is you can customize it per podcast. So digital marketer, these guys know what they're doing. They're good talkers. So I actually don't want them to be 1.5 speed. So I can say digital marketer, play at normal speed, but maybe perpetual traffic, they are slow talkers. So I do want them to be at 1.5 speed. So you can custom tailor the settings. You can tell it only keep certain unplayed episodes. So for example, if marketing school comes out with a show every day, and so I don't want it to be a large queue, so I tell it only keep 5 unplayed episodes because I'm not going to go past 5. And so you could tell it you could just do all kinds of customization. And that's what I really love about this app. It's also beautiful. And my favorite part is they actually have a mobile player. So I can start a podcast on my phone. When I get to my computer, I can pull up the browser and I can pick right up where I left off on my phone. I can do the same thing on my iPad. If for some reason my phone's dead, I can pull out my iPad and just start listening to another podcast right where I left off, which I realize is not a unique feature, but all these features combined is what has made me love Overcast. It pulls from the iTunes RSS library, knowledge base, podcast, whatever it's called. And so anything that's on iTunes, you can get on Overcast. And that is my number 2 app, my number 2 most used app that gets me sane and keeps me sane throughout the day.
That's awesome. I like Overcast. Is Overcast only for iOS?
It is.
That's a shame.
I forgot to mention that.
That's okay. But that's why we have Pocket Cast. Pocket Cast is the one that I use. It is a podcast catcher, okay? It's really easy to use, really cool. I'm going to show you just real quick how to add one. If you just hit the little plus and go to Discover, first off, you can just scroll through and see what's out there. You know, they've got curated list here, movers and shakers, things that everyone is loving and downloading, etc. You can check the trends, see what's going on there. Check nearby. So people that are that you want to share like your podcast with around you and stuff. If y'all are using Pocket Cast, you can be discoverable. Oh, here's what my pastor is listening to, etc. If you want, you can search, and I'll do a search for Ben. That's the thing. Here you go, Ben Settle Podcast. So I can just hit the little plus sign, and there it is. It's in there. So go back over here to podcasts, and there it is, the Ben Settle Podcast. And let's move it up in the list, up a little closer to the ones that I usually listen to. That's one of the things I like. It's really easy to sort of organize all this. But then I can click on and start grabbing episodes. So here's his most recent one. I can start that download. I can start this one. One of the things that I really like is the favoriting. Some of the people that I listen to have things that they have episodes of their shows that speak to me more than other episodes. And so I have this currently set in the settings. I'll show you. When you go to settings, you can set it to automatically download. Obviously, that's a good thing. One of the things that you can do is it under storage? Yeah. Auto delete played files. So files that you've already listened to, it's going to delete and keep things kind of clean for you. However, there's going to be times that you kind of want to keep some of that library around, like I said, because some of these are timeless and topics you may need to go back to time and time again. So like the power of belief. So this is one of Ray Edwards, and you can select it and hit the little star button, and then what's going to happen is that's not going to automatically delete. It will just always be there, and I can listen to it anytime I need to. It's really cool. It kind of gives you the ability to curate. Now you can make playlists and stuff, but you could have like a playlist of curated content that you want to come back to time and time again. And of course, it's got the standard stuff. You can share. You can change how things are sorted. I mean, it's your basic podcast player at that point. But I absolutely love it. It's invaluable. And yeah, you can do like the speed changing and stuff like that. It's absolutely fantastic. It's Pocket Cast. It's free. It's wonderful. I love it. I can't speak highly enough about it. I have not found one that's better yet.
Is that Android only? It's very material design.
Let's see. It's Android, and I'm not sure. Man, I don't know. Somebody in the chat room, look it up and find out if there's an iOS one. I could swear there is, but I can't. I can't verify that yet. But regardless, in the notes of the show,
they got a very iOS design looking. I mean, it's completely different. I like that.
Yeah, so
yes, it is for iOS too. Awesome.
Good. And we'll have and I could swear, dude, there is a cloud version as well of the player. But anyway, we'll have all that information down in the show notes for you guys. What's next, dude?
All right, my last app that I use almost every day, especially this is the one I use probably the heaviest on Sundays. Mm-hmm. And no, it's not my camera. No, it's not social media. It is Google Keep. And we've talked about Google Keep here, but I'm going to show you again because today is all about peeking inside of our phones. Google Keep, because you can see here, I got it on my home screen. And this is what I use to keep track of. This is my brain. Okay. I keep track of everything in here. It's my brain. So in here, I will track. I have a certain content schedule for my Instagram. So I track that. I have, YouTube video ideas that I want to do. I will track that. So anytime I think of an idea, I pop it open. I put it in there. Same thing with emails. This is where I keep everything that hits me in the middle of a sermon that I say, that could be a good social media post. This is where I track that. And so you can see here that I've been doing this for a while here. And anytime, so for example, on January 28th, I'm just going back in time. I put everything that I think could be a good social media post. Now, obviously, not everything goes into our social media. But I said, okay, for the announcements, we have the new believers class, the parents' night out, the women's prayer retreat, the pastor search committee meeting on Sunday. Those are things that could be promoted. But more importantly, here's some clips that we could use for our social media. So, for example, the music teacher story, the preacher told a story about his music teacher. He explained whoever follows me must hate his father and mother. He explained that there's a process to discipleship. He had a really good definition of a Christian. Then I have different quotes. I look for tweetable quotes. So, I take a quote here and I say, there's no rule that says only some people can do things and others can't do anything. What's God put on your heart? These are all good things that I do on Sunday. So on Sunday, I have my Bible app open and then I have Keep open, Google Keep. So when I hear something and think, man, that would be a really good social media post, I put it in here. Then I also have all my hashtags. So every hashtag that I use, I have in here. And then I also have my church hashtags at the bottom. So I'll scroll, it's all the way at the bottom. So like FBE, Instagram right here, all those are hashtags that I use. I have my YouTube tags here that I use a lot. So, I have a lot of different things in here. And then, of course, I do a lot of random stuff here. Like when I take taco orders, I take taco orders on my Google Keep app. I keep colors here that I use a lot, my hex codes, more colors, more sermon clips. When I sell on eBay, last week we talked about selling your stuff on eBay to make more money for your church, selling your old equipment. Here's a little template that I use. So when I post on eBay, I just copy this template over from my Keep because I do a lot of it on my phone. So that is Google Keep. That is what I use it for. And of course, it syncs with the cloud version. So I can pull it up on my desktop. I can pull it up on my iPad, wherever I need it. And the most used app I use on Sunday is Google Keep. And it is my mind. If for some reason, Google loses my Keep data, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I might as well just do a reboot of my life because it's like, hey, do you remember when I told you? I'm going to say, no, you're going to have to tell me again because I don't remember.
That's funny.
So that is my number 3 app.
Google Gonna have to reboot my life. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool. I use Google Keep as well. Between Keep and Evernote, for their various strengths. I love it. This kind of stuff, Justin and I, how to use these apps, why we use these apps, and a ton more can be yours if you join the Church Training Academy. So if you want to become an insider and learn how we take all this kind of stuff that we do and amplify the crud out of it, we're talking about our communications or our graphics or our podcasting or video production, live streaming, marketing, website design, all that kind of stuff. We are building out a humongous library of courses and training and tutorials and all this kind of stuff to help you guys basically exploit all this technology that we have at our fingertips. Some of it you know about, some of it you don't know about, some of it you want to know about. Anyway, we're teaching you all that sort of stuff. So if you want, you can become an insider. We're going to churchtrainingacademy.com/join, become a CTA, Church Training Academy Insider. You'll get access to our training. You'll get access to our private group, not the Church Media Hacks group. That's free to everybody as long as you're in the industry. But you'll get the Church Training Academy CTA Insiders group, which is a smaller group, much more concentrated. All of us in there are doing all kinds of different things, and we all kind of help each other through these projects and overcoming these obstacles and stuff. And then, speaking of breaking through roadblocks and stuff, you get access to our bi-weekly, I think that's what you call it when it's every other week, twice a month mastermind group. We have a group coaching that we do for a couple of hours on Thursday nights, every other Thursday night, and basically everyone gets to be on the hot seat. And here's what I'm dealing with, here's what I'm working on, all that kind of stuff. We all put that stuff out there, and then all take turns focusing on helping each other through those breakthroughs. It is fantastic. It is group coaching that that is taking each of us and helping us up our games and stuff. It is cool. Anybody who is an insider who goes through the group coaching will tell you that it is probably the most valuable part of the entire membership. And that's saying something. So we'd love for you to be a part of that. So go to churchtrainingacademy.com/join, and you can become a CTA Insider today. All right. My final one in the official list is a app that's actually been around.
I didn't know you had me on computer drinking.
Yeah,
I gotta look and see when you're talking, because I just when you start talking, I assume you're just full screen.
No. I always come back to a dual screen so we can converse. You have to be over on this side.
Over.
Yeah.
I try not to drink when I'm on screen.
Okay, well, we're rolling with this. So, as I was saying before Justin got all self-conscious, one of the apps that I love and that I've been using for a while, and it's actually been around for a while. In fact, Justin, here's a little known fact here. The app that I'm talking about is called WhatsApp. So if you don't know about it, it's a communications. It's a ubiquitous communication platform, which is really cool. I found out about it. Noel Lee, the guy who is the CEO of Monster, as in like the HDMI cables and the audio cables, and the Beats headphones, before he spun that company or before that company was sold off. The owner of that showed it to me, and it's how he at that time and his core team were communicating. Instead of texting and emailing and stuff, they just kind of started a conversation. And so in the last year or two, I've actually picked up on it. I want to show it to you. If you guys don't know what WhatsApp is, it is really cool. So WhatsApp is a communication platform. You can have chats. The thing that I love about WhatsApp over any other thing is that it's ubiquitous. The ubiquity is because it's platform independent. So, we do group texts. Justin, you do group text with people on various subjects. I do it. Everybody does it. Your family may have a group text going on, whatever. The deal is that if you're on a different platform, if everybody is on iOS and everybody's got iPhones, then that's great. It's wonderful. If everybody has an Android device, then it's great. It's wonderful. You can sort of keep all that stuff in the default messaging app or whatever. But then there's other times when, somebody's on iOS, somebody's on this, somebody's on that. And, sometimes your SMS app is like misconfigured. So anytime you reply to a group text, you reply and they get it, but then when they reply, you get all these individual texts. It's not in a group. There's all this, but it's just a bunch of garbage and stuff. So I tell people, if we're going to be communicating on any regular basis and stuff, let's jump on WhatsApp. With WhatsApp, it is cross-platform, including having a desktop app, a Chrome extension. that lets you use it, which is really cool because, you know, if your phone is in your pocket, or if your phone's across the room on a charger or something like that, you can still be communicating, and it's a lot faster to type on your keyboard when you're sitting at your desk than it is to pick up your phone and tick, 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 tick. You see how annoying that is? It's a lot better when you can go and you're done. But let me show you. You can record audio. You can, the other person can record audio. If you hold down the microphone button, you can just basically do push to talk, which is one of the things that I love about this because, you know, my wife can be doing something, could be hurriedly walking from the car to the building or something like that, and she can just pick it up and drop a message and say, you know, hey, do you need me to stop by the store? If so, tell me what you need me to get. And then I can, at my leisure, type to her the list that I want or what have you. It's so freaking handy, it's ridiculous. Group texting, really great. You can add people. You can have, you know, things that are specified for your group. So we have our Brotherhood of Nerds that my pastor and me and a couple other guys are in. We're able to communicate with each other as we have need without, you know, having to, you know, text each other, without having to go through, you know, all the rigmarole of doing stuff like that. We can record audio, we can record video, we can throw GIFs in there, we can do all that sort of stuff. We can do it completely cross-platform. It's fantastic, and it's free. Now, another really big plus to WhatsApp is that it is encrypted end-to-end, and it's really secure. It's that kind of encryption that Apple uses, like for the iMessages. Very secure, like Facebook uses for Messenger. Facebook also owns WhatsApp, so nobody can snoop in on it unless they have the appropriate security clearance to be able to do that. So you can assume that it's encrypted and it's going to be secure. So there's a huge plus right there. When you're using the desktop app or the Chrome extension, it makes it really easy when you have to share other materials and stuff. Like I was working on an intro for our church's podcast, and I had recorded some stuff, got it all set and done, and I wanted to show my pastor. So instead of transferring the audio file to Dropbox and then logging onto my phone and then copying the link and then going over to a text and then pasting the link in, I didn't worry about that. I just had the app open up here on my desktop, and I grabbed the MP3 file and I dropped it into the thing, and it uploaded it, and then he listened to it and, you know, went crazy because it was awesome, which, I mean, it was awesome. So anyway, WhatsApp, absolutely cool. I love it. I use it daily, many, many times. Justin, I'm getting ready to come to a dual screen of us. So there you are. Do you use WhatsApp?
I don't. I've never. I mean, I think I've downloaded it. I think if you go to my app store, it has the cloud icon. I downloaded it at one time, and I'm sure I used it at one time, but I don't know anyone that uses it, so I don't have a reason to use it. But yeah, I'm all down to download more communication apps. I prefer to segment my communications that way. So yeah, if anyone wants to, I mean, I'll jump in.
It's cool. The thing I like about it is that it's multimedia, and I told my wife, if there's an emergency and you need to talk to me, call. Okay, because throughout my day, I'm in and out of production all day long, right? So if my phone rings and it's her, I'm expecting it to be, I can't go pick up the kids. Can you go grab the kids real quick? Or can you break away to do this? Or I'm on my way to the hospital, or, I mean, whatever. Because I'm in and out of production, throughout the course of the day. However, if she just needs to ask me to pick up something on my way home, if she has a question or something, instead of using the SMS and having to jump through hoops, doing this lets her type something, and then I get a notification. I can look at it and respond when I want. We know that we don't have to have immediate communication back and forth using this. It's going to be just for general stuff, And if she has something that is important but not of dire importance, not a huge emergency, then she'll do one or two messages in a row, and then I realize, okay, she needs to talk to me now. So I can quietly look at it in the middle of the show. I can cut the camera to someone else and look at it and type back or do whatever, that kind of thing. And it makes it a lot easier when we're driving as well, because on the little holder in the car, I see that she does something. I put my thumbprint on, my phone comes up, I hit the play button, I hear what she has to say, and then as I'm driving, I can just sort of stick my finger or hold on to the little microphone, and I can record a quick message and still be driving and not have to worry about anything and let go and know that it's sent. It's really cool. I got a bonus for you. I got a bonus if you want. You want a bonus?
Sure.
Do you listen to audiobooks?
No.
What's the matter with you? You're illiterate.
I don't have time. I am illiterate. I am faced with this battle every day. I listen to a podcast or a YouTube that says, try Audible for free for 1 month and you get 2 books and you cancel. But I just listen to podcasts and I prefer to read books. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm good with that. I do a lot of driving and I keep my headphones, around my neck. They're not today, but you guys seen them. I keep those things on all the time. And so when I'm doing something, any kind of work around the house or, any chores, if I'm mowing, if I'm, wandering around the grocery store, if I'm doing anything like that, I usually have either a podcast or an audiobook going on. And I love audiobooks. I've been listening to audiobooks since 1992, spring of 1992. Is when I got my first audiobook, my first tape. But I want to show you guys the player that I'm using. It's called Rocket Player, and it's on Android. It scans your device, finds all the files, and you can tell it, ignore podcasts and stuff if you want, and then it puts them all in here as albums. Now, it is a music player; it's not just an audiobook player. So, you can have playlists, you can have, you can have your iTunes library in here if you want. But I use it for audiobooks, and I absolutely love it. One of the things that's cool is that it basically keeps track of where you are. So when you're playing a file and you close the app or you reboot your phone or you do whatever, when it comes back up, it's right there ready for you to go. It's great. There's a free version. There's a paid version that you basically unlock it and you get a few more things. It's got EQ. In fact, let's see. So with the EQ, you can set the EQ per device or per book. If you've got a book that is the audio is low or the quality is low or whatever, you can set that. And same thing with songs if you're using it for your songs or if you are using it to listen to other spoken word things. Anyway, it's great. It's called Rocket Player. It's an awesome app. I love it. It's one of the ones that I use between that and Pocket Casts. One of those is up and open, and when I hit the little play button on the side of my headphones, those things fire off. I absolutely love it. So there you have it. There's a look inside our virtual closets, if you will. Justin and I use these apps off and on throughout any given day. Throughout the week, each one of these apps gets touched multiple times. Now, of course, we do use our content creation apps. We use our cameras, our video cameras. We use our screen recorders, on our phones. We use, audio recorders and all this other kind of stuff. We use, the Adobe Spark app, when we use Canva for your phone, all this other kind of stuff. But these are the ones that are kind of our utilities. These are our go-to. These are part of our Swiss Army knife, I guess you could say. And we love these. So we want to know what you're using. Leave a comment below. Let us know what your favorite apps are, what you use. If you have an alternative to one of the ones that we're using, let us know. If there's something better, hey, we're not married to these. We will happily walk away if you can prove to us that it's better. So please share what you're using. We're going to have all the links in here to our apps and the various flavors of those in our notes. So be sure to grab those. Let us know what you're using, guys. I hope that this has been useful to you. I hope it's been helpful to you. Now, take the stuff that you're learning here and with anything that we're doing with Church Training Academy and use it to go change lives.